Hello, this is Young Money, and today we're going to be talking about something really important. How to manage your time effectively. How to be more productive in life and improve your time management skills. So, I've covered this topic before a few times, but it's just so powerful. It's so important because so many people spend their whole day doing things, doing their little to-do checklists and stuff like that, and they don't get anything done, and they wonder why. Well, the reason is because there's so many activities that you do during the day that are completely useless, that don't take you forward in life, and everyone thinks that they're important and that they're urgent and that they're things they gotta do, but it's not really true. This is why the to-do checklist, I mentioned before, if you make a to-do checklist, that it's not really gonna help you get much stuff done if you do it the normal way, okay? If you do it the right way, then you're really going to get a lot of stuff done in less the time and quadruple the results. So it's really important that you understand, what's important and what's not important. So I made this little chart right here. You may have seen this before, but if you haven't, it's a really great tool. All it does is basically measure the importance or the urgency of all the tasks that you do during the day. So let's go and start with understanding what this chart means. This is the quadrant number 1. This is necessity. So all the tasks that you have to do that are urgent and important go into this quadrant number 1. Okay, all the tasks that you do in quadrant number 2 are quality tasks, and these are tasks that are not urgent, but they're also important, okay? So the next quadrant is over here, deception, and that is the things that seem important, but they're actually not, and the things that are urgent, okay? And over here we have waste, which are the things that are not urgent and not important. So let's go ahead and take a look at each one of these quadrants and see what types of activities are involved. Alright, in the first quadrant, this is probably one of the worst quadrants to be in, to be honest, because, well, it's stuff that you have to do right now, and if you don't get it done, you're gonna be really, behind. You're gonna fall behind. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna be stressed out. This is the worry quadrant. This is the necessity quadrant. Okay, so these are the types of things like, if you have deadlines. For school or for work or things. It's like your homework is due tomorrow. Well, this is the type of place where I spent most of my school time in, because everything was always due the next day. You had to do it, and well, it really sucked being there. So they kind of teach you to be in this quadrant at school, which is not very good. The next thing would be something like a crying baby or problems with the children or getting hurt or something. It's urgent, it's really important. You got to take care of it right now, otherwise it's going to turn into a big crisis, okay? That's sort of another thing. It's like, crises, emergencies, disasters. I don't know how to spell emergency, so anyway, so problems and crises and emergencies, those are things like, everything's breaking, there's messes to clean, spilling stuff all over the place. Yeah, those types of things are urgent and important. You got to get these things done now. Or, if you're looking for a job, and you don't have any money, you got to go out and find a job or things like that. All these things are super urgent. You got to get them done right now, but they're not important. Or sorry, they are important. They're super important. All these things are super important and they're not urgent. So unfortunately, if you spend your time in this quadrant, you're just going to be stressed out and worried all the time. Okay, now in the next quadrant we have quality. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's not urgent and what is important. Okay, so things that are really, really important, but they're not urgent. And so you don't really have this feeling of wanting to do it right now because it's not important. It can wait. All these things that they can just wait, you can do them later. But they're so important. And these are the things that are going to move you forward in life. So if you spend your time in the quality quadrant, this is things like learning and personal development. Alright? coaching, training, and mentoring. Those are super important things, but like, they can wait, right? You don't have to do them now. But if you do them now, then that's going to bring you long-term results for the future. So if you spend your time learning and personal development, if you spend your time, networking and building relationships and doing good stuff like that, networking and building relationships, all this nice stuff. I'm going to give you 10 things to put into this quality quadrant, because I want you to really understand there's 10 things in this quadrant which are really powerful. The next thing might be something like product creation, or content creation. So just kind of making stuff to sell, like products and content, those types of things, very important, but they can wait. All these things can wait, and that's why people don't really spend most of their time here, the average person, is because these things can wait. You can just kind of lollygag, not do them, and it's not really going to affect your life right now. But in the future, if you don't do these things right now, well, where are you going to go? What's going to happen? The next thing would be something like promotional messages, marketing. Alright? That's the type of quality stuff you'll be working on, promotional messages and marketing. The next thing on this list might be, critical thinking. Or what's really good? Putting in here, making lists. Yes. Making lists is a very powerful number 2 quality material. So, I don't have very much room in here, so we're going to need to erase all these, and at the end I'm going to put all 10 tips at the very bottom here. I'm just going to erase everything, put all 10 tips so that you can really understand exactly what you have to do in order to make massive progress moving forward. So, learning and personal development, networking, relationships, product creation, content creation, promo messaging, marketing, critical thinking, and lists. And let's see what other types of things we could put in this quadrant, because this is the most important quadrant. So I made this the most important part of the focus. So the next thing here would be things like investments, and savings and stuff like that. Financial planning. So those types of things, very high quality stuff to think about. The next thing would be something like meditation, reading, sleeping, resting, I believe. Yeah. So, just kind of quality relaxation time. Meditation, reading, sleeping, those types of things. You want to put some time doing that. We've also got exercising and working out. Those things are really powerful to building your ability to, energy levels and productivity levels, and just being able to do more stuff during the day. That's working out, feeling healthier, all that good stuff. We also have some creativity things like, art or music or, languages or something. So, creativity type stuff. Obviously, some of these things don't immediately add to your bottom line, your income, but if you meditate, you relax, and you sleep a lot, and you're creative, and you art and music, you're going to be more productive during the work time. So you do want to spend time doing these things, so that way you can be more productive during work. The last thing I have here is things like clients and customers. And cash flow opportunities. Clients, customers, and cash flow opportunities. So those types of things are very, very important if you want to be able to make a moolah. Alright, so we've got 10 things in the quality section, and I'm going to erase all this stuff later. I'm going to list all 10 out for you, so that way you know exactly what you got to do. Now, the couple more quadrants that we have here, this is number 3. This is deception. You see, all the time that you spend in this quadrant, number 3, it's urgent, so you got to do it right now, but it's not important. So these are things that sort of like they're decepting you into being important because they're urgent. So those are the things like phone calls. Alright? Phone calls, emails, like silly meetings, you know, things that you don't really have to go to, things that aren't going to really get you a result in life. Says here, doing favors for others, doing favors. Things like when people ask you to do stuff for them. Like, yeah, I mean, you gotta do it if you want to be a good friend, but they're not important. Alright, so you kind of gotta take care of your friends if you want to. You also have 9-to-5 job type stuff. The 9-to-5 job, super urgent, not important. You gotta do it. You know, there's things you gotta do in the job that you gotta do stuff for. So you want to sort of back away from that and spend more time doing the quality stuff so that way you can get rid of all the other things. Alright? The next thing we have here is administration, admin stuff, you know, giving out orders and having to sort of like deal with employees and things like that. I mean, it'd be cool if they could just kind of do that on their own, you know, just kind of understand what they gotta do. The last thing I have here is invitations to social gatherings. Can you still see all this stuff down here? Yeah, so, you know, just kind of let's just put it right here. So invitations to social gatherings. So like things like weddings or, you know, parties with your friends. Well, not friends, but like, because that's more of the wasting time. But like, kind of like social gatherings that are kind of like more important than just hanging out parties, but like, you know, like big barbecues with your friends or something. I don't know, weddings, that's kind of like a bigger thing, or, you know, going to Disneyland with you know, the crew, or I don't know, those types of like invitations to social gatherings. They're urgent, you know, you kind of have to go to you kind of have to do most of these things, but they're not important, you know, so you want to kind of avoid this stuff. So you want to spend 80% of your time over here doing all the quality stuff. So that way 20% of your time can be spent over here doing other things, and it's not going to really hurt you, you know, but you don't want to spend 80% of your time here and 20% of your time there. That makes sense? So you obviously have to do the things in the other quadrants. It's not like you can just completely avoid them. You have to do the other things. But again, 80% of your time, if you just focus on this stuff, you get this stuff done, all of a sudden everything else becomes a lot easier to manage. Alright? The very last quadrant we have here is waste. So this is not urgent, not important. I'm sure, you know, if you're like me, you like watching TV or movies or games. Alright, so those types of things, complete waste of time. Alright? Things like surfing the web, social media, so all this crap that you're sort of doing online on the internet, just kind of wasting your time, looking around, reading blogs or whatever. Fixing small things in perfection. Fixing things. These things, perfection, fixing things, they're not urgent, they're not important. You don't have to really do them. You just kind of avoid them. You want to spend more time on getting sort of like A-, B+ work, getting it done, finishing it, you know, and doing it and taking the action, rather than, you know, trying to make it perfect and spend all your time perfecting it. And, you know, like this video here, you can tell, you know, the lighting's not perfect. I just have a small little whiteboard, but it's got a lot of good information, so I wanted to present it to you. I can't make it absolutely perfect yet. Eventually, you know, you can upgrade this stuff and make it all nice and cool, but it's not really a big deal, right? The next thing we have is gossip, talking with friends, chit-chat. Oh, lovely. Gossip, you know, friends, chit-chat. That's probably the worst. Everybody likes to spend time chit-chatting, but it's a complete waste of time. What are you going to talk about, you know? I mean, unless you're talking about something important, like the time management. Next thing we have is food or eating out. Spend a lot of time eating food, eating out on restaurants. So anyway, so these are the 4 quadrants, the 4 categories of time management. And if this was new to you, then it's going to be really revolutionizing your ability to, focus on your time and being able to just completely revolutionize your ability to do stuff, Just focus most of your time in the quality section. So we're going to make another list right over here. I'm just going to erase everything here. And what exactly do you need to spend your time on? All right, you got to have the 10 steps to mastering time management. So here are the 10 strategies to mastering time management. Number 1, personal development. Alright, getting coaching and mentoring and all that good stuff. Learning about self-help, coaching, mentoring, watching these types of videos. That is quadrant 2 material. The next thing, number 2, is networking. This is different than hanging out with friends. Networking, building relationships, like quality relationships. Like hanging out with the CEOs of companies and taking them out to lunch or something. That's kind of a good way to network, right? The next thing would be something like product creation, content development, writing, those types of things. Very powerful quality quadrant 2 material. The next thing would be something like building promotional messages and doing marketing. Very powerful number 2 quality quadrant 2 stuff. Next thing would be 5 critical thinking. Making lists. Lists. Planning, etc. Goal setting, that type of stuff. Critical thinking, lists, planning, goal setting. We also have investments. Savings, financial stuff, financial planning. Alright, all this 5-6 really great things to do during your time, during the day. So you want to, if you have a plan, if you have a to-do checklist, this is the type of stuff that you want to have on your to-do checklist. If you have on your to-do checklist, clean your room, do laundry, make food, make lunch for the kids, I don't know, fix the car, those types of things are not going to help you. Okay, those are like quadrant 1, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. That makes sense. That's why I said, the checklist stuff is not going to help you a lot. This is the type of stuff you want to do. 1 through 10 here. Let's go to the next one here, which is meditation. Sleeping. Resting, reading. Meditation, sleeping, and reading. Good stuff. The next thing we have here is exercising, working out. Alright. Good list. Number 9 is creativity. Making art or music. Alright. And the very last thing we have here is clients and customers. Cash flow opportunities. Alright. So these are the 10 tips that I have for you. I'm going to give you 10 tips for time management. Productivity tips. Spend all your time 80% in quadrant 2 doing these types of things here. then you are going to be able to relieve all the stress in your life. Forget about quadrant 1, 3, and 4 because all that stuff is going to be taken care of. You can just kind of do it. Of course, you got to spend some time in those quadrants, but this is the main section. All this stuff right here. Interesting stuff, huh? Alright, now if you're still struggling to being able to really master this and taking steps forward towards building a business, you know, understanding what you got to do step by step, you want to have someone there to coach you, to walk you through the process. Take small steps forward first. Alright, and one of the best training programs, the thing that I actually got started with first, was the Affiliate Bootcamp by Russell Brunson. You may have even heard of him. Now, all he's going to do is walk you through step 1, step 2, all the way to step 10 of being able to start your first online business. It's going to be free, absolutely free training. So all you need to do is click the link below. It's going to help you to get started with your online business, take you from A to Z, and just take small steps forward. That's the key, because if you try to do too much at once, especially if you're not used to doing this, then you're just going to get overwhelmed. So it's just 10 days worth of tiny things, tiny 5 to 10 minute exercises. Alright, so that's what I'd like you to do, is go ahead and click the link below, and you're going to start to be able to make some money. Alright, Young Money out. I'll see you around.